Hey, what's up, loyal listener? This is Cambo, and I know what you're thinking. This is a bit weird that you're coming to me before the episode even begins. And yeah, that's true. Because you might even realize before you've clicked on it that this episode is shorter than we normally do. And that's because we've had our world famous technical issues. Yeah, well, we've been recording remotely, as you guys probably know. And we've somehow managed to do 4 to 5 episodes with absolutely no issue. However, the recording, it failed about halfway through the episode. So we thought rather than not give you any episode, we would cut down the half that did work and at least give you something, give you some sort of Reddit on Reddit goodness for your week. Because I know that some people, for some reason or another, we don't know why, enjoy the show and look forward to it. So we didn't want to leave you with nothing. But this is only half a Reddit on Reddit episode. The other half is lost to the cruelty of the internet. But enjoy this shortened version of Reddit on Reddit.
Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Nelson, it's good to see you again, albeit via screen. It's just nice to see different people.
Would you like me to describe what I feel like?
Please.
Because as you know, you often touch my face.
I do.
When we're in person, just to kind of get a real idea of what I'm like.
A pre-show ritual is that we stroke each other gently on the cheek. Like, you know that lovingly back of the palm stroke that you sometimes see in movies and stuff? We do that to each other, being like, it's going to be a good show, darling. It's going to be a good show. And then we hit record.
It's like our break a leg sort of thing.
Yeah. But way weirder.
Yeah. But hasn't let us down. 100% perfect episodes. Speaking of which, what we're doing right now is we're streaming to Twitch.
I said the best part about this, Nelson, is it was a spur of the moment decision, and we didn't tell anyone.
Didn't tell anyone. Probably won't have anybody turn up.
No, well, why would we? Literally, no one knows this is happening.
I do have, we've got some followers. Mm-hmm. And I think they get a notification that's like, hey, I'm streaming. Shh, don't tell Cambo.
Well, guess what? Busted. I'm here this time.
Oh, Cambo knows. Cambo, should we get into it?
Please. For the love of God, please.
Alrighty. This first one was in the subreddit Life Pro Tips.
Okay.
And it was by the user Ritz2_0.
Ritz2_0. I know him well. We're good friends.
Oh, right. What's he like to do on the weekends?
He's an absolute son of a bitch. He is up to no good all the time. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. And I actually respect you less for having picked his post.
Oh. Heavy man, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to get but somebody says wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Like, I've got nieces and nephews. I could throw them pretty far.
But Nelson, you're underestimating my weakness, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Ritz says, life pro tip. It is important to know when to stop arguing with people and simply let them be wrong.
Yeah, I think that is. Like, there's like a saying, which is, if someone's being really stubborn and you know they're wrong, just let them argue themselves. Like, eventually they'll just argue against themselves. And like, if someone's being so stupid and you can't seem to get them to see your point of view, you essentially just stop arguing with them and let them keep going once they're fired up. And eventually they'll look dumb.
Yeah, I sort of, I mostly agree with this. But I hate being in an argument with somebody that has a very stupid point, and you know that. See, the times where I'm okay to let an argument go is like where the outcome is inconsequential, or I know maybe that I could prove them wrong with the right kind of facts, right?
Right.
If you're arguing about like just I don't know, a factual topic, what year did President Trump get elected or something like that, that's both inconsequential, but also I could prove it theoretically at some point. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I don't really care, to continue this. But it's the people, and I bring this up specifically because of this day and age where we've got some people arguing that, like, arguing about COVID-related facts, particularly in regard to like 5G, the 5G network causing COVID. People just kind of being racist towards Chinese because the president of the United States continues to call it the Chinese virus and doesn't see a problem with that. All these things that like I want to get into arguments with these people and then convince them that they're wrong. But it's these same people that you can't ration with. Like there's no rationale behind their arguments.
And I do think that if you're being racist towards Chinese people because of COVID-19, it just shows that fundamentally you don't understand it either. Because like the Spanish flu, for instance, and sure, we weren't alive when that was going around, but it was the consensus that was some kind of thing started by the Spanish to like wipe out, like, it's just where something originates and its impact on the world isn't indicative of the people of that place.
I wish you hadn't brought up the Spaniards, Cambo, or as I like to refer to them, the scum of the earth.
The flu boys.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for their flu, we'd have a lot more people on this earth.
If it wasn't for their flu, we'd have nothing to compare this flu with.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. But it just seems so. It's like, have you ever found yourself in that situation where you've got an argument with somebody, and you don't want to stop the argument because you hate the fact that they're going to leave the argument still thinking that they're right when there is so much wrong with what they've done.
Well, this isn't so much about like fact, right or wrong, but more about truth. This was actually a good example of this was this weekend. Nelson, you, I, and some other friends of ours, we all got together and we did an online murder mystery.
Yes.
And particularly, we had character profiles that we had to memorize, and your character was hiding information from my character. And let me tell you how frustrating it was when I knew a truth and I was trying to get you to admit a truth, and you weren't lying, but you also weren't answering anything.
Yeah.
And I must say, you played that expertly because I was becoming very frustrated because I knew I was correct and you knew I was correct, but you also then wouldn't admit that, which just frustrated me no end.
It is, that's such a great comparison, actually. The fact that, like, because I feel like sometimes you can argue with these people. I mean, bringing up other demographics that are also under this as like flat earthers or anti-vaxxers, where like, that the truth is not necessarily going to make an impact to the statement, like the argument, like in the same sense that, I know the truth, but I'm not going to let you have that by just denying it the whole time. And then what can you do? Super frustrating.
Yeah.
Super frustrating.
It sure was, Nelson.
I think there should be like some sort of martial law that you can impose when you're having an argument with somebody that is definitely wrong. Some sort of like just something like mild. You obviously don't want to inflict any sort of permanent damage. Just like a flick on the nose. Don't you think that would be
okay? So what we need is a universally recognized punishment for those who are irrefutably wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
So say your
you
example
could maybe
before...
tug them by the ear, sort of down towards the floor just a little bit, and just say, give them a firm no. No.
And if that doesn't work, do you roll up a newspaper and bop them on the nose?
I would actually have so much satisfaction for doing that, I think. Just really trying to... because I need something. I need something to know if I'm not going to win the argument, I can just do this thing and it makes me feel better, but also socially acceptable.
That's the Venn diagram that we need to work towards. Punishment we can do and socially acceptable, and where they overlap, that little sliver is where we will operate.
Is this where milk pranks comes in?
Yeah. But it's not where milk pranks ends, not for a long while.
Oh boy. Oh no. Milk pranks goes on for so long. You wish it will end.
My greatest wish is that years and years and years, when this show no longer exists, maybe we've died, but milk pranks is still around. People one day will go, where did this come from? and it'll be like sparse insider information that it originated from this show.
Yeah, that's right. Some will think it came from a milk god.
Because that's what we're going to tell them.
That's what we're going to spread the lies about. You have to do this to please the milk god. And I would like for it to, in the future, when, obviously deities, they die out. Yeah. Like Zeus or, Thor or becomes mythology. Yeah. After that point. Isn't that an interesting concept just by itself? A deity is just real until it becomes mythology. Yeah.
One day everyone's like, nah, that one's just a story, but this one we've decided is fine.
Yeah.
We were such idiots before. That one's obviously fake. This one, though. I've got a good feeling.
Sky? I don't think so.
But is it the new one, a person in the sky? Yeah, but it's different.
Yeah, but it's different.
The other one threw lightning. This one doesn't throw lightning. I mean, he could if he wanted to, because he can do anything.
Yeah, but not normally.
Yeah.
All right, Camber, let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Metaphor. No, wait, it's not. It's not even. This is by cross-posted to our subreddit by The Devil Made Me Do It. And it was originally by the user Jet25. There's a population of 7.5 billion humans and 19 billion chickens at any given time. If there was a chicken rebellion, how would you prepare to fight off your 2.7 chickens, give or take a few?
2.7. Look, I don't want to sound like too much of a cocky son of a bitch, Nelson, but I don't even think I'd need to prepare. I reckon I could take on 2.7 chickens if they burst in the room right now.
You're forgetting that they have become, I guess, somewhat more sentient or like aware of,
but like just stature wise, what are they going to do? They can peck me, sure, and that will hurt. And obviously if they go for the eyes or something like that, that's the real weak spots. But if chickens were to burst in this room right now, like I've got a guitar just here and I wouldn't want to see the guitar go, but I could smash 2.7 chickens with that guitar.
It is a pretty good fail safe.
As soon as I get my hands on the neck, they're gone.
Yeah, that is a weak point for them. In fact, most of their body is a weak point because they're very squishy.
It would be
you just give a chicken a solid kick. I reckon that's not getting up anytime
No, that's
soon.
what I mean. Like if you solidly kick that chicken or stomp it on its head, it's gone. They need to peck you a lot before you're going down. But you just need one stomp.
Here's what I'm thinking, though. I think you're still underestimating the chickens, okay? They've started a rebellion.
Yeah.
I imagine, just as we have evolved from apes, we developed the ability to create and use tools. That was a big part of how we evolved, I think.
Right.
So you're thinking a chicken's coming out there just going to peck you to death. Yeah. We don't we don't have wars where people just fight fist to fist anymore, Camber. It's a sophisticated game.
You're picturing, and I apologize if this is a reference you're not as familiar with, but like maybe you're outside and like Rambo covered in all the mud, he kind of comes out of the wall with a knife and gets you behind the neck or something. You're thinking like maybe they've become properly sentient and with like they can use tool. Like again, if a chicken gets his hand on a gun, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm worried about because, as the saying goes, many hands make light work.
Yeah,
there are a lot of chickens. Okay, if they were to get together beforehand, and I imagine this is how it would go. Like, if humans were chickens in this respect, you develop enough intelligence to realize, well, we can't just go out there and like peck everybody, obviously. Let's play it cool. Give them some eggs and stuff for a bit. Develop technology underground.
Yep.
And then come out guns blazing.
The smart way, let's strategize as the chickens here for a moment, Nelson. The smart play, I think, would be to develop a poison lethal to humans, and when you lay your eggs before the farmers come, inject the poison into the egg somehow, using the tools that they are learning to use. Okay. Because then you're killing people already with poison eggs, and people will cotton onto that eventually, but you're going to kill a bunch of people before they even really suspect that you're up to something. And you're just thinning out the herd already, and you're helping your numbers immediately.
I mean, then you've just got the vegans left to worry about. And honestly, swift kick to a vegan, probably kill it. The biggest enemy is a vegan that takes iron supplement. Oh, because they're the tough ones.
Yeah. The lack of iron is a chicken's best friend when attacking a vegan. But if they're supplementing that iron somehow, that chicken, it needs to really think about this. That's when the gun comes out.
They become a raid boss of kinds. In that case, then how many chickens do you think it takes to overwhelm one iron-induced vegan?
I'm thinking like a real swamp of I'm talking like 60 to 70 chickens jumping on a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is...
Because again,
that's a lot of chickens to deal with.
2.7 chickens, I think I could say. If 60 to 70 chickens burst in here, that's when I'd start panicking.
Yeah. 2.7 chickens is a meal. That's just run at you.
It's one of the only violent uprisings that would kind of end in a really nice feast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because you'd be like, "Well, what am I going to do? I killed this chicken in self-defense. I'm not obviously going to let it just rot, am I?"
Yeah, that's how Australians imagined the Emu War would go. We lost that. We lost that war.
We'll have a bit of a fight. Then afterwards, we'll have a big cook-up because of all the dead emus from the war we're going to win.
Yeah. Oh,
I sometimes wonder if some of our American listeners think we made that up as a joke.
Yeah.
Because it does sound like a joke, but if you haven't, look up the Great Emu War of Australia. Our army did legitimately lose to emus.
Yeah. It was, there were like a few casualties on the emu side, but not even that many.
No.
which is why we lost. I remember reading one part of that. I think we spoke about it. I think I did like a historical recap of it once. Either I did or you did. I can't remember. And I remember there was a point where like they went out one day and tried to kill emus and literally didn't kill one.
Maybe for like, because they were being pretty arrogant about their chances against emus, and maybe that's the same trap I'm falling into with these chickens. 2.7 chickens. Yeah, okay, yeah, big deal. And then I'm the first to go.
Yeah, exactly.
They string me up like in a tree as an example to other humans. Like this guy, he was cocky. Now look at him.
You've got your guitar strings wrapped around your neck. They turned it back on you, Cameron. You weren't ready for it. I think the problem with chickens, really, if they were to start an uprising, is they're going to need to fix the wing problem.
Yeah.
Hands
Well,
are probably the most useful tool.
yeah. And my other strategy, of course, because they're a flightless bird, is just to get
Yeah.
in an elevated position. Like if I climb up a tree or something, they're like, oh, when
Yeah.
he gets down here, I swear to God, when he gets down here, I just throw things at him.
Oh, let's say you're attacking. You're on a coffee table and you're swinging your guitar at the 60 chickens that have come in to try and take you down.
They've heard of my arrogance.
yeah, that's right. Then you hear this, and through the door comes a chicken in a jetpack, armed with a gun or just a machete. You know what? That would scare me more. A chicken in a jetpack and it's got a machete in its beak. That's a scary way to die.
Yeah. You know what? I would concede my life there that I had underestimated the chickens and they've impressed me so with their ability of both wielding a knife or machete and a jetpack. I'd be like, you know what? Fair play. I deserve to die.
I would try to beg for mercy, maybe join their side.
Oh, yeah. We didn't think about betraying the human race, did we?
I would betray the human race at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
We're not doing much. In fact,
If anything, we're fucking everything up.
we are fucking everything up. It's like, whoa. Hey, chickens, I'm on your side.
Yeah. Fuck these guys.
yeah. Give me a gun. I'll shoot a bunch of people. I think, and then I'll be like, because I don't know if you know, but 2.7 chickens isn't a lot. Like, if I'm being honest, I think you guys need some help. Okay?
And I am willing, again, to shoot as many people as you need me to shoot.
Yeah. I'm just like, look, I don't mean this in any sort of harsh way, but just to kind of justify why you might need my help. And then I'll go and just like kick 3 chickens and kill them and be like, see how easy that was? I think you need my help.
Yeah. And then when the chickens start losing, will you defect back to the humans?
Oh, obviously, at the drop of a hat.
Your loyalties are paper thin.
Yeah, that's right. My loyalties are to the winning side. Okay, here's another one.
Sure.
Cambo. This is by Dragons and Protons. I'm not sure if this was cross-posted by anybody. I don't think it was. There is a new... No, I think it was. I don't know.
it
Maybe it was the
like
devil, maybe do it. Whatever.
Surely you just get all the cross-posted ones first to minimize your amount of work.
Yeah. That's normally what I
So
what
I feel
do.
like this would have stuck out to you as being quite annoying because you had to go get it yourself.
Like, ugh,
You'd
another
remember
one.
going to get this post. You'd be like, oh my God. They didn't do enough. I needed 3 per segment and they only cross-posted 2.
Sons of bitches. No, I do. Well, I have to admit, I do very much appreciate, as I've said before, people cross-posting. But I feel like we're getting a lot now, and I feel like I have to maybe apologize in advance if I don't use the one that you've cross-posted. Sometimes just like the week, I just get a vibe of what we can go with, what we can't. But thank you for sending them in, everybody, cross-posting them. Very much appreciated. Also, I realized that I messaged somebody the other day, as I do, and said, hey, we used your post, thanks. And he said, oh yeah, I already listened to it because I saw that my post was cross-posted.
Oh,
So
really?
I was like, oh, that's how we get new listeners, Camber.
Yeah. Okay, everyone, keep cross-posting as much as you want.
Even if you don't think we can use it at all.
No. If it's a real popular post, cross-post it.
No, I think what you need to do is go to the people who've only got like 1 or 2 upvotes and then cross-post that.
Yeah. That's good.
The
I like
people
your
with a
strategy.
lot of upvotes, they get enough attention.
We're just white noise to them.
That's
We
right.
want to make the people that aren't getting love feel loved.
Exactly.
And if you see a post with only 1 to 2 upvotes, cross-post it, and then everyone in our subreddit upvote it so they feel more loved in our subreddit. Yeah, there we go.
Brilliant.
You're all in on this with us. You need to help us get these people. Even though last week we said don't tell anyone about this podcast and stop listening, we've now gone 180 on that.
I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind. Just as I'll change my mind against the human race or chicken race, I will
Anyway,
flick like a switch.
What is the post?
Oh, yeah, okay, let me get to that. This is by Dragons and Protons. There is a new restaurant called Karma. It doesn't have a menu. You just get what you deserve. So what are you getting?
It's a good question. 'Cause I think it's hard to evaluate yourself, you know?
I like the idea of that, though. I think sometimes evaluating yourself, being pressured to evaluate yourself, can bring a certain light to the people around you.
I think I would get a standard meal. I don't think it'd be like anything particularly fancy, but I don't think I hurt anyone in my life. I think I generally, live an inconsequential life, but a fairly uninterruptive life to others. So I think I'd get just a standard meal.
You think you might get like a steak and veg?
Yeah, or like a hamburger and chips, or whatever like your basic middle of the menu kind of meal is.
Okay, all right. Do you think you'd get dessert?
Do I deserve dessert? This is because it's my favorite now. So dessert is a big thing for me. So I think I need to be particularly good to get dessert.
If I just had dessert, I would have bad karma.
See, now if they just gave me dessert, I'd be like, it's a good week. They let me skip the bit I have to get through to get to dessert, and just gave me the dessert.
That's right.
Look, it'd probably be week to week, I think. Like, for instance, I try and work out every morning. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you do. But I think if I've taken good care of myself, I've been good to others, I've done my job well, sure, chuck in a dessert. But you know what? Maybe if I haven't really worked out and I haven't particularly gone out of my way to, to help anyone, maybe not.
I think the problem is the other people in the world that really bring down our karma credit score.
That's the thing. Like, because it's an average of everyone in the world, we're in the bottom half of that for sure.
Yeah. It's not that we're necessarily bad people, but there's a lot of good people out there.
No. I would say we're slightly above, and only slightly above, the other podcasters that start a Patreon on episode 1.
Yeah.
We're just above them because we're still, anyone that has a podcast is bottom half, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
But those that demand money immediately from it, they're just below us.
They're going to get like breadsticks.
Yeah. Yeah, they can use their Patreon money to pay for their dinner.
This is what I think I would get. I think I would just get like tomato soup.
Just like an entree, like a starter.
Just like, oh, look, maybe it's a little bit more.
Are you getting some like, nice toast or something to dip in there, or like to make it slightly? No.
Nah. I might have a bit of cream on top, maybe.
Okay.
Because like, I think, particularly in maybe the latter half of my life, I've been a relatively nice person. And also, I mean, probably in the early stages too, because like you're a kid, and I feel like most of the time, like I think innocence helps with karma. I don't know how karma works, officially, but I feel like innocence sometimes plays a part in it. But like also during high school, I mean, as I've mentioned many times before, sent a message to this guy's mum via email that he was on drugs and he wasn't going home. That's lowered by karma score.
I think so, but I think, and maybe this is getting a little Christian of me, is the fact that you feel remorse about that would actually help you. If you felt no remorse about that, but you do feel kind of guilty about that now. But if that whole time you're like, oh, fuck that guy anyway, then I think your karma would lower. But if you self-reflect and go, oh, that was probably a dickish thing to do and I feel bad about it, I think that your karma does start coming back up.
So do you think that if I got served the tomato soup, the way to put it down, I look back up and I'm like, but I feel really bad about that guy that I teased that time.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, have some croutons.
Yeah. The more remorse you can show, the more extra little dishes you get. Maybe you get a slice of garlic bread with that, Nelson.
Oh, that would be my dessert, I consider. So I'd be happy with that.
That's your Italian blood. If
I got to a restaurant and it involved garlic bread, I've won. I've got enough karma. I don't need any more.
You're basically a saint.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. All right, Cambo, let's get into Today I Advice.
So now it's time for Today I Learned. What are these about?
Today I learned.
And also sometimes advice.
This Today I Learned is by well, it was cross-posted by Metaphor, of course.
Shocking.
But it was actually by user Married Engineer.
Brag.
That is kind of a funny name. Guys, I'm married.
It's very flattering, all of this attention, but I'm married, please.
I'm not just a regular engineer.
I'm not like one of those normally loser engineers that never gets married. I am specific, because it's kind of shaded at other engineers, isn't it? Like, I'm an engineer, and I know what you think when you hear that I'm an engineer, that I'm a loser that could never get married, but I am, in fact, a married engineer.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, today I learned a waitress was tipped a lottery ticket and won $10 million. She was then sued by her colleagues for their share. Then she was sued by the man who tipped her the ticket. Then she was kidnapped by her ex-husband and shot him in the chest. Then she went to court against the IRS.
Wow. So then, with all these laws, I wonder who won. Like, I think it depends on, like, policy of the place you work as well. Like, if there is an actual policy that you have to split tips.
Yeah.
Is that going to affect it? I don't think the guy that gave her the ticket can really claim too much.
He can't do shit.
No, other than be like, my son of a bitch. You know, like, other than be really upset about it, legally he can't do much.
Yeah. Why would you ever tip somebody a lottery ticket in the first place? I mean, I understand the chances are really small, but I'm assuming this was on top of the standard tip.
Could it be like it came to tip and he was being a cheapskate and he went through his wallet and he just had this lottery ticket that maybe someone had given him, maybe like, you know, as a birthday gift. Sometimes you get a lottery ticket or something like that. And he's just like, yeah, I'll give this one. I don't really want to tip. I've been a cheapskate. And then it happened to win.
Can we just briefly touch on what a cheapskate you have to be to give somebody a lottery ticket for their birthday?
Nelson, are you calling my grandparents cheapskates? Because without fail, every birthday I get a lottery ticket. You know what? I haven't won yet.
And also my uncle. I'll put it out there. Oh. In fact, kind of my I think mother's side of the family, there's this sort of people will like gift lottery tickets or like scratchies or something as kind of like token gifts. And I really feel like you shouldn't, like, that's not, everybody could just save the $20 they're going to spend and it'd be totally fine. Because there's also that thing of like, if you win, you have to split it with not only the person that gave it to you, but probably the whole family, right? Because it's normally like a family thing, like a Christmas or something, where these are given out. And it's like, if I win $20,000, I'm grateful, but I don't want to split $20,000 amongst my family.
Wait. So the way your one works is, if you win, I understand the idea of giving some to the person that got you the ticket. Yeah, that makes sense as a thank you. But you have to give it to other family members as well.
Look, it's never been like spoken about, but I think I'd feel guilted into it.
No, my response would be quite cold to the rest of my family, I think.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
really?
Mom, I feel for you. I do. And I see the wolves at the door, but you didn't get the ticket, did you?
Yeah. Maybe next year, get me a lottery ticket.
You know what? I'll buy you a lottery ticket. That is my thank you to you.
Okay, I do think she then won far more than you win?
I don't think if someone I know wins the lottery, I don't think I'm entitled to any of their money. Do you feel that way? Like I wouldn't be surprised if my parents, if they won the lottery and they were like, hey, we want to help you, I don't know, like help you buy a house or something. That wouldn't surprise me. But I would never be like, Mom, what the hell? How come you haven't brought me a house?
That's probably true. But okay, what if your mum helped your brothers and sister financially, quite significantly. Let's say she gave them $1 million each and did not give you anything.
That would annoy me. Like, that would hurt me. But I'm not entitled to her money. You know what I mean?
I know.
So I would still be like, hey, mum, what the hell? Why do you not seem to care about me as much as them? But I wouldn't be like, it is my right to have this.
Yeah, I agree.
That being said, this is only a theoretical 1 million. Let's see what happens when it's a real tangible thing. Maybe I turn into a real greedy monster.
Yeah, that's right. Look, any chance I have of getting a few million, I will turn. I think earlier this episode I showed how quickly I'd turn.
I can be a selfless saint in theory, can't I? But like the real life, weight of my mum not giving me $1 million, maybe that changes me.
And you know the best thing is that even if you do guilt somebody into giving you millions of dollars of their winnings, you don't have to go to the Karma restaurant because you can just buy good food yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if I'd been shit, I just wouldn't go to the Karma restaurant.
Why would you go there? Surely you only go in there if you're like a real good person.
Yeah.
Or like for a wake-up call, maybe. Like, you just want to gauge how much karma you have.
There would be a lot of people that I think that they're really good people. The kind of people that give to charity only to really say they've given to charity. Those kind of people. That would probably get a pretty rude awakening.
Yeah. But look, Cambo, as the old ancient saying goes, mo money, mo problems.
I do have a quandary, Nelson. What if you went to the Karma restaurant and they said you are deserving of a full steak dinner, steak dinner, fine wine, everything like that, and they came and they brought it to you because you've been so good, and you take that steak dinner and wine outside and give it to a homeless person? What do they do? Because you've now then upped your karma more, but you've done it by giving them the food that they supplied you for being good. Is that a snake eating its own tail at that point and the restaurant shuts?
Are you talking about... wait, okay. Well, I mean, I was thinking... I mean, I think that's fine. I think that.
But I'm saying, does that mean like you give your food away and they're like, no, you don't understand. Now that you've done that, we have to give you more food.
You get back in. You cure world hunger.
Yeah, that's true.
I was thinking of the idea more like if you have this great food, you're a great person, you get, steak, wine, very fancy meal.
Yeah.
And then you give it to somebody with really bad karma. So like a guy that's just killed somebody.
Yeah, what does that do?
Does that increase or decrease your karma?
I think it's all about if you knowingly give it to someone that's just like if you're at the crime scene and they've still got the knife in their hand, you're like, please eat this steak. But are you forgiving them?
What are are they also starving? Perhaps.
It's a great question.
Oh God,
we have questions about this. We need to go back to the person that wrote the post.
Yeah, that's right. When you made up this stupid question, did you consider these things? Okay, I have some advice. It's not really advice, actually. It's more of like just a question, but it's directed to Australians, so I thought that we might be able to help.
We know a few.
It's by the user Suck Puppet Account 1, and it was in the subreddit Shitty Advice, just so you know.
Okay, right.
Also, if there's children listening, I apologize in advance.
Turn down the volume for maybe 5 minutes.
Australians, what's the difference between a sick cunt, a dog cunt, and a shit cunt?
Right, okay, yep. This is an important distinction. Because one of them is great, the other two not so much.
Not so much.
And I wonder before we explain it, what people like. Just if you're a non-Australian listener, think in your mind what you think the good one is.
I sort of wonder, and this is what I'm most fascinated about.
Yeah,
is whether people from outside of Australia listening to this, like as you said, had any idea. Because to me, straight away, I'm like. To me, this seems like so very obvious in the way that it's written. But I'm like, is that just because
I think it would? I think it is. I think you're desensitized to it, and I think a lot of like English people, for instance, would also
Yeah.
probably pick up on the good one right away. Because it seems like also a very English thing to say.
Yeah.
And I think the prudishness of Australians and English to the big old C-bomb is far less than our American counterpart.
Yeah.
People will drop it just whenever.
Just to say hello. Sup, cunt?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Subcunts is a great way to if you've got a group of people you want to say hello to all at once.
Yeah.
Well, subcunts will do the job.
Hey, cunts. It's kind of just like the greeting followed by cunts. Hey, cunts, sup, cunts, yo, cunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything.
So shall we break it down?
Okay, well, let's go for the obvious good one at the moment, sick cunt.
Sick cunt. That's the good one.
Particularly if you've just done a really awesome, like, kickflip.
Okay, so there is a there's a video that I've seen a few times. It's like a metal band, right? And the guy is standing in like he's holding like people are holding him up by the feet in a mosh pit, and he's singing. And someone throws a beer, like a cup of beer, and he mid sentence catches the beer, sculls it, and throws it away. He's a sick cunt.
Sick cunt. Sick cunt. That's true. It has to be like they've done something pretty kind of amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like very traditionally cool, you know?
Yeah. What it is, more than anything, it's a term of astonishment from the viewer.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if we were going to start this stream and you backflipped into your chair, hit record, I'm like, let's go. I'm like, oh my God, you're a sick cunt.
What a sick cunt. Yeah. That's true. Okay. A dog cunt. Now, a dog cunt and a shit cunt, kind of similar, but I think there is differences between the two.
And the idea of dogging someone, it's not the public sex, which I know is also a term, specifically in like England. Like if you go out dogging, it's kind of like having sex in parks and stuff. But if you dog if you dog the boys, you've done something which is like kind of what's the right word for it? Do you think, Nelson? Kind of low and
it's hard to think of a description when you know the answer is dog cunt.
It is. So I think it would be, for instance, you're all out for dinner, and it comes time to split the bill, and someone's like, "Oh, I don't have any money. Can someone cover me?" And you cover them, and then later you see them at a bar buying drinks with money they clearly have. Dog cunt.
Yeah, dog cunt. I mean, I think just straight away the not paying straight up is dog cunt kind of move, because you could because I think that even though it's like an insult, it's kind of what you say to friends as well anyway. Like it's not so much, I think, it still is said about other people in a negative way.
Yeah. And I think this is the least common variation as well.
Yeah, that's true. I think one of my friends will say it all the time to anyone who's like we'll be trying to play D&D one night and everybody except one person can't make it, and he'll be like, "Oh, dog cunt."
Which is funny because it's kind of it's a thing about like being unloyal, and a dog is like the most loyal companion you can get. It's quite the ironic like insult.
Yeah, but dogs are shit, so I think that's why.
Well, that brings us into shit cunt.
Well, it brings us to shit cunt. Similar, but less about like betrayal. I feel like dog cunt is about betrayal a bit more.
It is the more severe version of shit bloke, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think shit bloke is pretty self-explanatory. Bloke, yep, person. They're just kind of shit.
Yeah, they're just shit.
or they do something slightly shit.
Yeah, and this one I feel like you definitely say more about other people than friends as such.
Yeah,
like I feel like if you are bagging somebody out, you might call them a shit cunt.
Yeah. Like say you've got a real dickhead at your work. I'm like, what's he like, Nelson? You might respond,
he's bloody shit cunt.
Yeah, and I get it. I completely understand what this man is.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
and
man,
it's not
I've
like
worked with a shit cunt before.
Let me tell you, he ain't a sick cunt. And that, I'm afraid, is it. Yes, that's when the recording all started to go downhill. So we hope you enjoyed this shortened version of Reddit on Reddit. We'd love it if you could subscribe, leave us a rating, all of that good stuff. And we're sorry, but next week we'll be back with a full episode. Until then, read you later.